A road rage incident on a busy Toledo street. What happened in the moments leading up to it? And Ohio Governor Mike DeWine gave his State of the State address today, what he says he'll focus on for the end of his second term.
We've been feeling that cooler lake breeze for the past 24 hours. It will continue for parts of the area into Thursday, but I've got a big spring warm up that's going to take us toward record warmth as we get into Friday. You'll see how warm it will get and how long it's going to last. That's my hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus on this Wednesday night. I'm Kaylee Marentet. Let's take a look at your top stories for the night. A Lucas County jury found Sean Landis guilty on all counts, including 2 attempted murder charges. The 53-year-old shot 2 people inside of a Sylvania Township home in September. Police say he left the home after that shooting and was later arrested in Las Vegas. Landis was found guilty of 2 attempted murder charges, 2 aggravated burglary charges, and numerous felonious assault charges. The 2 men who were shot by Landis have been in court during the trial and spoke to our team today.
The trial and what you've seen so far kind of paints this as a singular incident, but my husband and I have been the victims of malicious stalking from this individual for about 6 years. From the moment this person came into my life till now, death threats, threatening mail, stalking, physical stalking, break-ins at home, vandalism, you name it. We've experienced it over the last 6 years, and we've been living under a cloud of fear. And this finally gives us a chance to breathe from that.
Landis will be back in court April 2nd at 1:30 for his sentencing. Well, you just saw footage of a road rage incident that took place on the Anthony Wayne Trail in South Avenue. One driver took off, nearly hitting the other driver and almost taking off her car door. Silver Barker breaks down the details.
This is how it ended. But this is how the video started. A black Nissan is seen going around a gray truck in a single lane. The truck then begins to pick up speed. But before this, a witness who recorded the situation tells us the 2 vehicles weren't letting one another over into the one lane on Vernon Airport. They both sideswiped each other, which is why he says he decided to start recording. Moments later, at the intersection on South Avenue and the Anthony Wayne Trail, the man in the truck gets out of the vehicle to approach the woman in the Nissan, claiming that she hit him. But she says otherwise. A few seconds later, the man begins to walk away, but the woman gets out of her car. Then the man gets back in the truck and drives off, hitting the woman's door.
That was Silver Barker reporting for us tonight. We're learning the name of the Toledo inmate who died while in custody at the Monroe County Jail. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office says Stacy Dillard was found unresponsive in his cell last week. Officers immediately started CPR until first responders could arrive, but he couldn't be revived. According to the Sheriff's Office, the Lucas County Coroner's Office states he died from natural causes due to cardiovascular disease. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine held his State of the State address today, focusing on kids. DeWine talked about improvements in schools with English language arts in elementary schools showing improvement, including a 2% increase among Ohio 3rd graders, 5% among 4th graders, and 3% among 5th graders. He also mentioned the Ohio C program, where kids get vision screenings and glasses if needed. The governor says the goal is for Ohioans to have the resources they need.
To work each day so that every single Ohioan has the tools to live up to their full potential and has the opportunities to live their version of the American dream.
We have the rest of what the governor mentioned today in his State of the State on our website. The May primary is less than 2 months away in Ohio. Lucas County commissioners today voted to accept grant funding from the state to pay for the cost of the election. Normally, the county has to front that cost and then gets reimbursed, but this year is different.
This allows us to know that we have the money to be able to execute a good election. You know, we don't have to worry about the poll worker pay because that's covered. We don't have to worry about the ballot printing costs because those things are covered.
State issue 2 has to do with public funding for infrastructure projects and will be on all Ohio ballots. Union leaders at the Libby Glass Factory and Distribution Center in North Toledo say after nearly 6 months of negotiations, contract talks with the company are at a standstill. A senior union leader says Libby executives are attempting to rewrite workers' collective bargaining agreement, erasing all seniority for employees across the board. We're told this would mean it would be harder to get raises, time off, and there's discussion of raising the workload from 8 hours a day to 12. Union members say they've been fighting this since October with little results.
If people vote to strike, there will be no strike pay, there will be no unemployment. And, you know, what's going to happen? I mean, are they going to, after a while, close like a lot of places do, or what? Anything could happen. Look at how many places have closed, so it's like, are we going to be next? Our plant manager, he has closed plants before, so what's going to happen with us? It's scary.
We reached out to Libby Glass but have not received a response yet. Tax day is quickly approaching, and do you have everything filed? Experts say many filers are worried about mistakes and scams, but there are ways to make it easier. The BBB says if you stayed organized throughout the year and start the process early, it'll help in the long run. Common errors include missing or inaccurate Social Security numbers, misspelled names, incorrect filing status, and navigating confusing credits and deductions. There are also scams to avoid.
The new scams for the first time do include a letter look-alike, so be aware of that. And the new tactic is not just to scare you into thinking that you owe taxes that must be paid immediately, but also to entice you to give away information because they're claiming you have a refund coming.
We have tax help and all of our tax scams to avoid on WTOL.com. Chris?
All right, so check this out. We've got brighter skies. They're going to be out there as we get into our Thursday. More sunshine and mild feeling conditions. Should be a day that looks a whole lot like this with the blue skies, the calm conditions, and gorgeous feeling weather. It's still going to be very warm as we get into Friday. In fact, we could be near record warmth as we go through Friday afternoon. We're going to pop towards 73 degrees. That's going to give us the spring fever and that spring bloom that is going to begin to unfold, or at least get closer to that. Now, windy weather is going to be the big impact on Saturday. Gusty breeze could reach up to about 50 miles per hour, so high winds. Still going to be warm, but an unsettled start to the weekend on Saturday, and that will include the chance of some scattered showers and storms. Where we have the lake breeze now, it has turned much colder. 30s from Fremont, Oak Harbor, out toward Port Clinton, just barely hanging on to 40 degrees in the Toledo Metro. We had much warmer weather south of the Toledo Metro, and that is going to be true as we get into Thursday. Nothing showing up on radar. We're expected to stay fairly quiet and clear tonight with dry conditions as we go overnight, and that's going to include the bus stop forecast out the door as we get into your Thursday morning, right around 30 degrees. Mid-40s into the afternoon tomorrow, and I expect we're going to hit the lower 50s, bright skies and sunshine and warmer weather. It is going to be expected well inland from that lake breeze. So here's how it should shape up into Thursday afternoon. We could range from as cold as the low to mid 40s right along the lake shore. Low 50s just inland. That includes Toledo, Fremont, and some low 60s down toward Findlay, over toward Defiance, and across parts of Williams County. That's your better chance that you're going to reach 60 or warmer. Now, everyone is going to turn warmer as we get into Friday. It will start cold, though, upper 30s to mid 30s across much of the area. Look where we go into Friday afternoon. We're going to skyrocket into the lower 70s. This could get us very close to record warmth as we get into Friday afternoon. So it's going to be a close call. Current standing record, 74 degrees, set back in 1995. The countdown remains on, just over a week away from the official start of spring. It's actually going to be Thursday of next week, 8 days away, actually just less than that. Walleye fishing, something you think of when we talk spring weather. Cooler conditions Thursday, but still bright skies. Not a bad day, 50s, low 70s on Friday, breezy. Saturday as the day turns unsettled. We are going to be in the 70s, but gusts up to about 50 miles per hour will be possible. One thing we could also look at as well, we're dry as we go Thursday night, and into Friday. Here's a look at the hour-by-hour forecast. No issues out there Friday with the brighter skies and sunshine. Should have no issues reaching into the low 70s. Now things will turn unsettled into the weekend. Here's a line of showers and storms racing toward the area. 8 a.m. Saturday, a line of wet weather, stormy conditions, and unsettled weather to start the weekend on Saturday. Here's the bright skies that will be out there into Thursday. Highs will reach into the 50s, and our 10-day forecast says 73 Friday, near a record high, low 70s into Saturday, but unsettled stormy weather. And then we do turn cooler next week, dip it back into the 50s as we head toward St. Patrick's Day. Kaylee, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. Mark your calendars. Toledo Jeep Fest is back this summer, and there are many exciting things happening. Jeep Fest is scheduled for August 1st through the 3rd. New this year, Mercy Health will be the title sponsor. There will be lots of events, including the all-Jeep parade and the outdoor display of rare and customized Jeeps. Organizers say a group of strongmen will also be coming to participate and possibly lift some Jeeps or parts of Jeeps. An end to the construction at Cherry and Summit Street is still a few months away. The second phase of the construction has brought new concerns for pedestrians. Different crosswalks now have lights and signals turned off for walkers. This has left some people trying to figure out what to do. One person who works downtown says with all the detours and closings, her 5-minute commute has now tripled.
We don't have a lot of drivers that pay attention to the pedestrian lights, so once their light is green, it's just go time for them. Meanwhile, we're standing around jumping back because someone almost clips us. But in the meantime, I just hope that everyone's safe. That's my main concern.
City leaders say the crosswalk lights at Cherry and Superior will have to stay off due to zoning. The sidewalks on the side of Cherry closer to downtown should open within a few days. A bridge project in Adrian has been delayed once again. The Michigan Department of Transportation is replacing the US 223 bridge between Treat and Division just outside of Adrian. Dominique O'Neill explains the cause of the delay.
Here in Adrian, Michigan, along US 223, the bridge replacement project has been pushed back to June. I spoke to some local drivers about what it's like driving through here. Some drivers, like Bob Fellows, feel the delay is not that bad. He drives this route along 223 2 to 3 times a week.
So it doesn't bother me at all, but it may bother other folks because they're in a hurry, but they leave at the last minute to get to wherever they're going. And me, I leave an hour or two early, so. But yeah, the delay to me is not that bad.
While others feel it is causing some inconvenience to their drive.
Well, it's not the best 5 or 10 minutes of my day. You have to sit there in traffic if you're in a hurry. You just got to wait. That's all it is. But it's a big waste of time, pain in the neck. Just sit there waiting.
This construction project, which began in September, was originally scheduled for completion by November. However, that deadline was quickly pushed back due to weather delays and unexpected need for beam and substructure repairs. The construction engineer for the project says crews are working to rebuild US 223 bridge, which is right over the railroad tracks.
So right now we're finishing up some deck work up top. Identifying, like I said, we identified the steel repairs or doing repairs underneath. At times when you drive through there, you might not see a lot going on because a lot of the guys are working underneath on those repairs to the beams and the columns.
According to the Michigan Department of Transportation, the total cost of this project is $3.3 million.
We felt doing these repairs at this time and just extending the project probably into early summer to get this addressed one time so we don't have to come back again and shut it down and inconvenience people again.
Reporting in Adrian, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11.
Wearing badge number 1 in a fire department is a special honor, one that was awarded to a firefighter with the longest tenure. The honor was given to Private Brian Schoen of the Toledo Fire Department today. He says he's proud to serve his neighborhood.